Hey y'all, I'm Amy Darley, a busy mama of 2 kiddos, just sharing my everyday tasks over here on YouTube. In today's video, I have lots of cleaning, decluttering, and organizing to do, plus I'm making a few projects with my Cricut. Thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. As you saw, my house is a total disaster, especially the playroom, so I've got tons of cleaning motivation to help you tackle all those to-do list items on your list today. So let's get some cleaning done, y'all. Good morning or afternoon, whatever time it is that you are watching, you guys know the drill. We are starting with tidying up first, so we got to get that bed made. I'm still in my pajamas here, and I'm actually about to change. But the beginning of this video, I did a super sped up version of tidying up the entire downstairs and just kind of getting the entire downstairs back in order before I move upstairs for all the cleaning. And the reason it's so sped up is because I did so much that this video would have been like 3 hours long if I didn't speed it up so much. But here's just a quick look at what we're working with. The downstairs wasn't too much of a disaster, and I'm showing you my new Atlanta Braves shirt that I got for me and Gracie June, which I also ordered the other day. Do you guys ever get sucked into those like Facebook boutiques? I don't even know which one it was, but I found an Atlanta Braves headband that is so cute. So I ordered those for me and Gracie June too, because we're going to a Braves game later, I think in July. Which, by the way, if you're new here, hey, I'm Amy. Gracie June is my 9-year-old daughter. She's actually going to be 10 in July. And then I also have an 11-year-old son named Keychains, and he's going to be 12 in June. So both of my babies were summer babies, and they have birthdays coming up. And then my wonderful husband, Chance, you're going to see him pop in and out of this video a little bit. He actually helps me behind the scenes every now and then if he doesn't have anything else going on. And so I needed his muscles today. But anyways, that's my little family, and I am so glad that you're here, whether you're new or you've been watching for a very long time. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are new, then be sure to subscribe and also say hey down in the comments, introduce yourself, and let us know where you're from.
I was looking like a fool when I met ya, all covered up in the dirt from my past, so insecure by myself when I met ya. Won't you give me any warning? I've been thinking about you day and night and day and night. To be honest, I just don't know what to do next.
All right, you guys, the entire downstairs is tidied up, so we're going to run upstairs and let me show you the disaster of a playroom that we have going on in here. All right, so let's turn the light on. Holy moly. You can't really see this side as well, but y'all, this is my craft area that needs to be cleaned up. I'll turn that light on in just a second so you can see even better, but I don't know what the kids were doing in here, but apparently they made some forts or something. And there's stuff everywhere. And that was their little sleeping spot. But anyways, I'm going to clean this up. And hopefully it doesn't take me too long because I have a lot to do. Okay, I want to do a little explaining because I know I will get comments. So my kids actually made this mess by themselves, just the two of them. Usually this doesn't happen unless they have friends over, but they didn't have any sports after school the day before this, and they were playing and they were doing all kinds of things upstairs apparently and having fun, making a mess. Well, by bedtime, when I went upstairs, I was like, oh my gosh, this place is a disaster. So I told them they were going to clean it up after school, but obviously I needed to get in here and clean anyways. So here I am cleaning up their mess, and yes, they're going to thank me for it later. But don't worry, they do clean up after themselves typically. That's why you don't see me cleaning up in the playroom very often, is because they do usually clean up their own mess. But you know what? It gave me a little content today. I was having to clean up and organize in my craft area anyways. And I also wanted to clean the furniture, like do a little bit of dusting and stuff in here. So here we are. I'm cleaning up after my almost 12-year-old and almost 10-year-old. So the mess that my kids made was bad, but y'all, this is all my mess right here. I've just been piling things up. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I had planned on doing projects with. It's all sitting out. I have just made a huge mess over here. Also, I went through the kids' books several months ago, pulled them in here into the playroom when I pulled them out of their bedrooms. And I just have so many books that I need to actually go through them. So this stash right here, this is all books that I need to go through and decide whether I'm going to keep or not. And then I also have this little stash of books over here. It's a little bit smaller, but these are the ones that I'm definitely keeping. And then I also have another section of books that are just like chapter books and older kid books right here. And so I'm going to go through all of these, and I decided I'm only going to keep 2 bins of books, 1 for each kid, and then the rest of them I'm going to give away to a teacher or just donate. But I'm going to put these to the side for right now so I can go ahead and clean up the craft area first. And then later in the video, I will go through all of the books and start decluttering. So in the craft area, I'm first of all starting with just getting everything cleaned out of here. So some of the stuff I'm decluttering and I'm going to donate. Some things got trashed because they were broken or they were just trash. And then some things just needed to be put back in their spot throughout the house. There was a lot of stuff that belonged in Gracie June's room. So that got put away. And then, you guys, I had so much stuff that I had brought up here when I first redid this area and made it into my craft space. I had a bunch of stuff that I still haven't used in like years. So I decided to get rid of a lot of that stuff, but it feels so good to have this area cleaned out. Also, for this space, I ended up getting another one of those Elfa drawers, the ones from the Container Store that I've been using in all of our closets because I love them so much. I actually had an extra one. I was going to use it in Gracie June's closet, but I didn't need it. So I'm using it here in the playroom, and I'm going to use it to store all of those extra little gift items that I've picked up that I can personalize for gifts and things like that. I have a bunch of like makeup bags and all kinds of things. So I'm going to store that stuff here in these drawers. That way I don't have to have all the clothes and extra little things sitting all over the place. And then while I was at it, since I had all the time in the world apparently, I decided to go through these drawers right here. These are actually Gracie June's craft drawers, the majority of them. The bottom 2 are not, but the rest of them are. And so she's got little crafts in these. She's got a bunch of paint that she can use, bracelet making kits, stickers, all kinds of stuff. So these are her drawers. I just kind of reorganized them for her. And then the bottom 2 drawers are mine, and they just have like scraps of vinyl, regular vinyl, and then also heat transfer vinyl. So here you can see I have a whole bunch of blank t-shirts for projects, blank makeup bags, and then I also have extra school supplies, so I'll put that down in the bottom. And then this is a whole bunch of like ribbon and wrapping paper, like gift wrapping stuff. So I decided to keep all of that stuff in here as well. Okay, let's do a few projects with my Cricut, and thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. All right, so I've got the craft area all organized, but this is Gracie June's little lap desk, like carrier art kit type thing. So you can put whatever you want in here, but she's got these little drawing books. So it shows you how to draw certain things. So she got this one, and then she's got this one. She also has this little book. It's a gel pen coloring book type thing. She's got all of her gel pens in here, a pencil for sketching, and then this is an eraser that she put in there. But this is perfect if you have a kid that's crafty. So you can actually like throw everything in here, and we could throw some markers in here too if we wanted to. But this is great for on the go, in the car, or even like if she wanted to use it while she was sitting on the couch to color, she could pull it out and then use this as the top. But I think I'm going to put her name on here really quick just to spruce it up a little bit. And then I'm also going to make some teacher gifts, which I found this really cute design and thought it would be good on either a t-shirt, or I found some blank koozies on Amazon. So I ended up ordering a pack of them because I was like, ooh, I could make these for little gifts for teachers or for my friends, whatever. Mother's Day, all kinds of different things. So I'm going to put this on a koozie for Gracie June's teacher. I'm actually doing a little bag of all kinds of like summer stuff, and I thought a koozie would be perfect for that. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm also going to make a bag tag in just a little bit for her using my Cricut as well. So how I found this little design is if you were to go to images. So right here you've got images. You can also do projects, but if I go to images, I'll be able to search up any image. And here you can see I put in beach teacher. You could put in, I think I put in summer teacher. And look at these cute designs. Beaching, not teaching. Goodbye lesson plan. Hello summer. So they have all kinds of really cute designs. Let's just say you were looking for a cute design for July 4th. I know that's like another big holiday that's coming up. Look at this. So look at all these cute designs. Ooh. Look at all these cute designs for July 4th. Like, oh, this would be a cute shirt. That would be a cute shirt. Or even a koozie. I can make some koozies for July 4th if I wanted to. And then, or I could even go to projects, and you can see all these different projects that have been saved, and it'll tell you exactly how to make the project. So you go, let's just go up here and let's put in July 4th again. Okay, so here are all the 4th of July projects that come up. There are so many cute ideas, and you could totally do some of these as crafts with your kids over the summer if you like doing stuff like that. Look at these 4th of July lanterns. That would be a fun one. A little 4th of July banner if you were hosting a party. Just all kinds of DIY stuff that you would pay a whole lot more for if you were to buy on Amazon or Etsy. But you can actually make it at home for way less using a Cricut machine. So those are some of the projects. But like I said, here I am just using my image. Alright, so this is the image that I'm going to be using for my koozie today, and then I'm just going to like resize it. But look, everything is already laid out for me, and all I have to do is make it. The only thing is this is probably set to vinyl, so I will probably, since I'm going to heat transfer it, I'm going to have to mirror the image, just because whenever you're doing heat transfer vinyl, you have to mirror that image to get it on there the right way. So as you can tell, I absolutely love my Cricut machine. I do so many different projects, and if you've been here, you've seen me do a bazillion different projects over the years with these machines. The one I'm using today is the Cricut Maker, and it's awesome because you can cut tons of different materials from vinyl to cardstock, even chipboard. This thing is awesome. So I definitely recommend it if you like to do a wide range of projects. But I also have the Cricut Joy machine, which is a lot smaller, and it's perfect for like labels or making your own cards for special occasions, that kind of thing. It's great. Now this project here did not take me long at all. It's very basic. I am only cutting out her name, and so it was really, really simple to do. So first I'm putting my vinyl on. This is my permanent vinyl, and then I'm going to load it into my machine, and then I'm going to click Make Project, and then it's going to ask me what material I'm using. I click vinyl, and then I'm going to get started, and it's going to cut it out for me. And since I'm just doing her name, it took no time at all. Cut it out, and then I'm going to unload the mat. Then I will just cut around her name and pull the vinyl back, and I have pretty much a little sticker that is able to go on the front of her lap desk.
With a broken heart, waiting for you to come out and save me. Had my mess, need to untangle, and I'm a fool for you, baby. Fool for you, baby. Waiting for you to come out and save me. Fool for you.
Now here I'm just using the Cricut transfer tape, and you just put it on top. Make sure you use a little scraper tool, or you could even use a credit card, whatever you have on hand. And this is just going to transfer it over to the transfer tape. And now I've got my sticker ready to place right there on the middle. I just kind of eyeball things. You can be a perfectionist if you want to, and you can measure and do all of that, but I hardly ever do that. So now I'm just using that same scraper tool and I'm transferring my sticker onto the lap desk. So like I said, this is a very basic project. Beginners can do this. It would be such a cute little gift for any of the girls. So actually I'm thinking about buying a bunch of these and using them as gifts for all of Gracie June's friends because they're all very artsy and love to do crafts and things too. So I think this would be a great gift idea. Okay, now I'm moving on to teacher gifts, and I got all of these little koozies, also these little keychains off of Amazon, and they came in like a bulk set. So I'm going to be able to use these for gifts and things too, which I'm really excited about. So the first thing I did was I picked out a paint color for my keychain, and I just took the little peeling off, actually used my weeding tool from my Cricut to peel off these little sticker things that are on the front. And then I just painted on a little swatch of paint. And then I was not really happy with it, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So I will end up changing gears a little bit, but this is what I love about projects like this is they don't have to be perfect and you can usually find a solution if you're not happy. Okay, so I attempted to do it with this acrylic paint, and this is what it looks like, which is not the look that I was going for. So then I thought, well, you know what? Let's make it with vinyl. So I went over here in Cricut Design Space, and under Images, I searched Paint Splotch, which, look at this. I scrolled down, and this is exactly what I'm looking for, is these little paint splotches. And they have different ones, so I could do different designs if I wanted to. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add this one, add to canvas. And then, let's see. So I could do a few different ones. Is that the same? No. Okay. So there's another one. Add to canvas. So here you can see I've got paint splotches, and all I have to do is just cut it out with my Cricut instead of painting it on here and waiting for it to dry. So that's what I'm going to do really quick. So I am so thankful that Cricut Studio has so many different images and projects and things to choose from, because this also makes doing these little projects so much quicker because I don't have to actually design all this stuff by myself, where a long time ago I felt like I was always trying to come up with my own designs, and now I'm kind of lazy and I just use Cricut Design Space to find different projects, cute designs, and then I just create them. So this was another really easy basic project. I did have to cut out a bunch of different colors, but you don't have to do this. If you wanted to use the same color for all of your little paint splotches, you could totally do that. I just decided while I was making the one for the teacher, I was going to go ahead and put some stickers on a bunch of the other ones. That way I have them ready for gifts for later, and then all I have to do is cut out the person's name, or I could even use these as like a little gift tag if I wanted to on a birthday gift, and it would just put a little personalized touch on it. So I cut out my little paint splotches first with my Cricut, and this was really easy because I didn't even have to use transfer tape. Now, it probably would go on a little bit better if you used transfer tape and wouldn't bubble up, but this was simple. I did this, and then I ended up cutting out her teacher's name. And I did use transfer tape for her teacher's name, but I just placed it right there in the center of the little paint splotch, and it turned out really cute. So here are all the colors that I decided to do. I really like the purple one. That's probably my favorite paint splotch, but I wanted to use pink for her teacher. And then I just put her name, and I ended up resizing it, making sure it was going to fit on my little paint splotch. And then I cut it out in white vinyl and used some transfer paper and stuck it right onto the little keychain. Now, I also wanted to say really quickly, if you need links to anything, I will make sure to link my Cricut Maker, my Joy Machine, and all of the materials that I used for today's projects, as well as any of my other favorite Cricut materials and things to use. So check out the description box for all those links.
You made me fall without saying a sentence. Won't you give me any warning? I've been thinking about you day and night and day and night. To be honest, I just don't know what to do next. 'Cause I'm the one with a broken heart, waiting for you to come out and save me. I'm a mess.
Okay, here's a look with the tassel on. Isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh, I just love it, and I just think it's going to be so much fun to give these out with any gifts that I make. Okay, so this next project took me a lot longer, and that's because I had so many different colors to cut out. They were very small, so the actual cutting process didn't take very long, but I made sure, because I'm using heat transfer vinyl, I mirror the image here because you want it backwards, because when you go to put it on, you're not using transfer tape, okay? So I went ahead and I'm just using some scraps since everything that I was cutting out was very little. I'm using some of my Cricut heat transfer vinyl scraps down here. And I'm just going to cut out one color at a time, and then I'm going to weed it, which is just like peeling off the excess heat transfer vinyl so that I'm just left with the words or whatever the actual design is.
And I'm a fool for you, baby. Fool for you, baby. Waiting for you to come out and save me. Fool for you. I know it isn't logical. That something that you do to me is chemical. I know it isn't logical. Something that you do to me. I'm the one with a broken heart, waiting for you to come out and save me. I'm a mess, need to untangle, and I'm a fool for you, baby. Fool for you, baby. Waiting for you to come out and save me. Fool for you.
So now that I've cut out all my vinyl and weeded everything, I have my design ready. I'm ready to transfer it over onto my koozie. So I'm actually using a heat press. It's the Cricut brand, and it's awesome. And then I have my little mat here, and this also took me a very long time just because every single piece was a different color. And so I had to transfer it with my heat press separately for every single color. So basically, I put my design on the koozie, and then I use a little Teflon sheet to have a little barrier between the heat press and the koozie. And then I put the heat press on top and let it do its countdown. The first one, I did let it count down all the way to 0 from 45 seconds. But after that, I let it only count down to about 10 to 15 seconds. It didn't need nearly as long as I thought it did. And then I just went through and did every single section. So for this particular design, I wouldn't say it was necessarily beginner just because there were so many layers. But if I had taken the word beachin and made it into one color instead of a bunch of different colors, it definitely could have been more of a beginner project because you wouldn't have so many layers and it wouldn't take nearly as long. But I think it turned out so cute, and I'm glad I did all the different colors. Okay, so while I have my Cricut out, I wanted to go ahead and cut out some labels. And once again, I'm being lazy, and I searched projects and medicine cabinet organization, and look, they already had these little basic labels that I could cut out, and I didn't have to do anything myself. And yes, they are basic, but guess what? I didn't have to type them in or even think about what labels I wanted. I just used their project and made them all black because I just want black labels. So I'm loading my vinyl onto my mat and I'm going to cut these out. This was super quick and easy, probably the most basic beginner project out there. And I have had the medicine cabinet on my list of things to do for so long now. And I just had to get it done. While I had my Cricut out, I was like, you know what? This is my excuse to get this done, get this checked off of my list. I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. So you'll see my medicine cabinet in just a few minutes, but it's a disaster. And it feels so good to have it decluttered and organized and checked off of my list. So here are my labels. cut them all out, weeded everything, and then I just cut them out separately. And take a look at my disaster of a medicine cabinet. We literally have things falling out of the cabinet because it is so packed. So the first thing I'm doing is I pulled everything out of the cabinets, just laid them on the countertop, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray down these cabinets because who knows when the last time it was that I actually cleaned these particular cabinets out because, like I said, this project has been overwhelming me every time I think about doing it. But you know what? I bit the bullet and I got it done. Y'all will have to let me know if you have any projects like that have been on your to-do list forever just because you're just so overwhelmed with getting started and you just don't know where to start. That's kind of how I felt with this cabinet, but here I am getting it done. So I actually bought these little baskets off of Amazon and I didn't measure, of course, because I never measure anything. And they were too long. So now I'm using these little baskets that I pulled out of my other cabinet that had other things in it, and I just kind of traded them out. And so I'm going to use those because those work perfectly and I can actually stack them too. Now I'm going through all of the medicine that we have and I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff and then I'm keeping what we need. And it's funny because I swear we had like 6 bottles of children's Tylenol. And I think it's because we can never find it because it's shoved at the back of our medicine cabinet. So we go buy more thinking we don't have any. Now we have a ton and it should last us a long time because my kids, knock on wood, don't get sick very often. And I don't even remember the last time they've had to have Tylenol, but it's okay. We're going to know where it's at now. So I'm using these little labels and luckily they actually worked on this one too because I had measured them to the other containers that I had, but these fit perfect. So that worked out. One good thing out of this whole project. So I'm just putting these on as I go, and I have a few bins that don't have a whole lot of stuff so they can like lay flat in the little bins, and then the other ones have bigger bottles or a lot more of them, so I have them standing up and I'm going to stack those on top of the other ones. Now, I also got this little Lazy Susan off of Amazon. It came in a pack of 4, and I'm going to use 2 of them here in the medicine cabinet. This one is going to go on the bottom shelf, and this is for all of our items that we reach for on a daily basis. So it's got like all of our vitamins in there, also allergy medicines. And then on the next shelf up is where I'm putting all of the smaller containers. We've got stomach pain medicine, children's medicine, cold and flu, and then anything like aches and pains. So all of our Tylenol, ibuprofen, that kind of stuff. The second Lazy Susan I'm using for all of our first aid stuff. And here you can see we've stacked up on this too. I don't know why we have so much of this stuff. And then I also have this little blue first aid kit, not the cutest thing in the world, but guess what? It's functional, it works, and it's a first aid kit, so it doesn't have to be pretty. So I'm going to put all of these on the next shelf up, and I figured all this stuff is fine on this third shelf. We can still kind of reach it, but it's not stuff that we reach for as often. Our kids don't get scraped up too much, thankfully. And then y'all are going to think I'm so dumb, but here we go. I was trying to put all of our bandages and stuff in this little container and I did not measure and it doesn't fit. So I trade it to another container. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I'm so dumb.
Did you
I
measure
should
it?
have checked the thing before
Did you
I
measure
put it up here.
Did you measure it?
Did not. Oh. Then I go pick another container and before filling it, I measure. This one fits. All right. So take my advice when I say the eyeball, like eyeing it method does not always work out in your favor. If it didn't work the first time, you might want to measure it the second time so you're not having to do it for a third time, like me. But basically, this worked, and now I'm taking my little vinyl label that says first aid kit, and I'm putting it on this new little bin here, and it also worked perfectly. But in this one, I have all of our bandages and wraps and things like that. We hardly ever pull this stuff out, so it's perfectly fine being on the very top. But guys, look at my medicine cabinet now. I love a good transformation, and this seriously makes me so happy. We're going to know where everything is. Everything's labeled. You know, we're going to be able to find things so much easier. I just love it.
You got me begging, pretty please. I'm so hung up on you. I couldn't tell you what it feels like, but I sure think you do. Where do you go when your glass ends up empty? Oh, I wanna know. Won't you let me know? Where do you hide when you leave me wasted?
And I have a whole trash bag full of medicine and also boxes because I did pull out a lot of the medicines that were in boxes and all the bandages that were in boxes. I pulled a lot of those out. So I got rid of a ton of stuff. And now we're back upstairs because I'm not done cleaning yet. So I need to finish picking up the mess in here. At least the craft area is already clean. It looks so nice. But I'm going to finish cleaning up all the mess in here. And then I'm going through these books really quick, which I have it on super sped up mode. So I'm going to look like I did it in like 2 seconds. But it took me way longer than that. And then I also have these little art projects that Gracie June has done. Apparently, she really loves horses and unicorns. And so instead of leaving them out on top of my craft table, I decided to put them up here in our little display cabinet. And they look cute, and she can add to it if she wants to. Okay, let's go through these books. Now, I thought this was going to take me a lot longer than it did just because I am so sentimental when it comes to books. It's like one of the things I really want to hold on to. And I just have so many memories of all these different books and reading them with my kids, and also just the fact that I have a bunch of books that I have from my childhood, and I love getting to read them with my kids, and I think that they would love that too when they get older. But it's also really nice to be able to give these books away and know that other kids are going to get to read these with either their parents or with their teacher or with their friends in their classrooms. So I did end up getting rid of so many books, and I only had one bin full that I ended up keeping, which I am going to split into 2 separate bins later for each of the kids. Okay, I very quickly went through all these books, and I have narrowed it down. I'm so proud of myself, so I've narrowed it down to we're going to keep these, we're going to keep this little stash, and this little stash. So all of the books that are in this bin here are going to be donated. Yay, making some progress. Now, while I'm doing the dusting in here, I'm using the sprayway here on the glass, and then I'm using the Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface spray just to wipe down all of the cabinets and on top of the TV center and all that kind of stuff. And then I also am going to spray some sprayway onto my microfiber cloth and then wipe down the TV. While I'm doing this, Chance actually came up here to help me because I asked him to take that big black bin full of books down so that I could put it in my car. And he started picking up the other ones too. He brought in another bin for me, but I was so grateful to use his muscles and to not have to take all those books downstairs by myself. Okay, moving on to the windows, I'm just using that same sprayway cleaner. And after I do this, I'm going to vacuum really quick. And then I'm going to show you all the drawers in my craft area in case you're interested. And then I'm going to put the little teacher gift together and show you the finished gift. So this is exactly why I don't like corded vacuums. But they work so much better on carpet. I've never found a cordless vacuum that works as well on carpet as a corded vacuum. And I do love this one. I will say my Shark Uplight, rest in peace. It was my favorite vacuum ever. But it is donezo, and this is all I have now. And I do like it a lot. I just really like my Shark Uplight better because it was so much lighter and easier to use. And I feel like it picked up more, but this one is a great vacuum and it's not very expensive. So I will make sure to link it in case you're looking for one. But Sharks are always great too. So I haven't tried a new version like the Shark that I did have. So maybe that'll be my next purchase. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, my playroom is all clean. The craft area is all clean. And I'm going to show you the drawers in my craft area in case you want to see what all I keep in them. So over here, I've got my heat press, that little blue machine. That's my Cricut Joy. It's amazing. And then in these little baskets, I have the cords to them. I also have hot glue guns, all my craft stuff. I have a bunch of permanent markers in this one. This is all fabric, and I can actually cut and use that with my Cricut too. I just need to find some projects to do. And all this stuff is like party stuff, except for the yarn. I need to move that over into the little basket with all of my gift wrap stuff. And then here's my new drawer organizer. This top one is empty. I'm sure that it'll be full soon. And then this is all the stuff that I have that I can use for gifts or personalized t-shirts, that kind of stuff. This is all my gift wrapping items and yarn and things like that. And then this bottom one is just extra school supplies, which this is a great place to keep it since my kids are always needing more school supplies. And then over here, this is where I keep all of my vinyl. So the top two drawers are just regular, permanent, regular vinyl. And then I also have some vinyl for my Cricut Joy there. And then the next two drawers are both for heat transfer vinyl. So I've got lots of that, all kinds of different colors and materials and stuff. And then this drawer is packed full, but it's got some more heat transfer vinyl. And then it's also got the transfer tape right there, and then a cutting tool. And then these are more like water bottles and different things that I can actually put vinyl on and personalize if I want to. Like I told you guys earlier, this is all Gracie June's stuff except for the bottom two drawers, which she could use if she wanted to make projects too. But now I'm going to put together the little beach bag. I got this cute beach bag. I get the same ones every single year from Walmart. They're only $7.98, and I swear they're bigger this year. Love it. I got some sunscreen, a little beach towel, a Home Goods gift card. I would just make sure to get whatever your teacher loves. And then I have the little koozie here that I made earlier with my Cricut. Definitely so cute. And then also the little keychain, which I'm going to hang off the bag. Now, I know some of your kids may already be out of school for summer, so maybe this doesn't help you, but it could help for a beginning of the school year gift, or even like a summer. If you have someone that has a summer birthday, this is a fun gift to give. Hopefully it was helpful and you had fun just watching me make it. All right, so that is going to be it for today's video. I did have a recipe filmed, but this video is already so long. A lot of you asked for that Buffalo Wild Wings penne chicken pasta recipe, so I did film it. I will put it in next week's video so that way you guys can see how to make it, but it's also viral on TikTok if you want to go search there. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and say hey in the comments. Love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.